Gracious God, creator of the universe, and yet the lover of my soul. Alpha and Omega, and yet I can call you friend. I don't have to beg you for anything, but I can thank you for everything. God, I thank you because this is the day that you have made, and I can rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for this day of magnificence and glory and splendor. God, I thank you for life, health, and for strength. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for peace, love, and joy. I thank you for the essence of you that envelops me right now from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. We thank you for this day of manifestation. We thank you for the day of revelation. We thank you for the day of impartation. We thank you as you move in the midst of your people to bring us to the greatest times that we've ever seen since the foundation of the world. Thank you, Lord, that for this time and for this season, you've allowed us to be a part of your move in the face of the earth. I thank you, God, for the revolution that you're bringing forth, God, even in the midst of the earth right now. And I thank you for the opportunity to be a part of what you're doing in this hour. Because in the last days, saith God, you said you would pour out your spirit on all flesh. And so now we thank you for the pouring out. God, I thank you for the rain and the move of your spirit. I thank you for fresh oil. I thank you for new wine. I thank you for the new thing that you're doing. I thank you now that it does spring forth. I thank you, Lord, that you've called us to be the head and not the tail. You've called us to be above only and not beneath. You've called us to be the lender and not the borrower. You've called, God, that our storehouses would be full and increase. God, I thank you because even I decree and declare that the people under the sound of my voice, even now, are moving in the might of your strength. Not by might nor by power, but by your spirit. I thank you for those that are the sons and daughters of God that are called because they walk not after the flesh, but after your spirit. I thank you for the rising up of the people of your kingdom. I thank you that your kingdom come. I thank you that your will be done, even now in earth as it is in heaven. I thank you, Lord, because you are moving in the midst of your people mightily as never before. Raise us up, oh God, to the standard of what you've called us to be. God, I thank you for the standard of greatness. I thank you for the standard of holiness. I thank you for the standard of moving as the sons and daughters of yours and not as vagabonds, not as those that never knew you, not as those that are confused and confounded, but God, those that know who they are in you. I thank you for the knowing. I thank you, God, for knowing you. I thank you for knowing your presence. Thank you for knowing your Holy Ghost power that gives us the ability to be successful. Your anointing that gives us the power to rise up and be called blessed. Thank you for that is in us. Thank you, God, for all things that pertain to life and godliness. Thank you because we are not confused. We are not deceived. And we thank you for that clarity of mind and the clarity of vision that allows us to walk forth as kings and queens, as princes and princesses in the kingdom that walk in the earth. We thank you that we are your beloved and we rise up as the apple of your eye. We rise up, oh God, as those that you love with all of your heart. And God, we love you back. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for soundness of spirit. I thank you that healing is our bread, healing is our deliverance. By the stripes of Jesus, we're already healed. And we speak forth that healing even now for those that need it. Thank you, God, for every stripe that was taken. Thank you for the bruising. Thank you that he was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. God, with those same stripes we declare and we speak healing in Jesus' name. We give you glory, we give you peace, we give you honor, we give you blessing, we give you might. We ascribe all of these things unto you because they are yours. Thank you, the fruit of my lips giving thanks unto your name, ever giving you all that is yours. Glory, honor, power, dominion, majesty, it's yours. I decree it and I speak it In the mighty name of Jesus, it is so. Amen and amen.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to welcome you to today's edition of Yes, You O Cubed. What does O Cubed stand for? One-on-one, because it's just me and you. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and I'm so glad that you joined me on today. Now, let me see. Today is Wednesday. Can you believe that? It's hump day already. It is July the 19th in the year 2023. Sharon, I tell you what, y'all better talk to me. Michelle, you be careful out there on those streets, and thank you for lurking and driving. Now listen, it's another day's journey, and I'm glad about it. How do we get this started this morning? We're going to go right on in and talk about those that came in the Lion's Den this morning. Again, I want to appreciate everybody that came in the Lion's Den, even while we were on vacation. Every day, we had greetings and salutations that were coming from the Lions, just giving up the love, just giving it up, giving it up, giving it up. And I appreciate you for thinking of the Lions Den. Even as my sis Kai Chick, that's my evangelist, came in this morning talking about, I'm sorry I missed you. I was on the beach. I'm like, girl, you better beach out there. I ain't playing with you. And you didn't miss a thing. Because, honey, if you were out there in nature and letting nature speak to you and letting nature do its thing, you heard everything you needed to hear right there. Now, coming on in here, and I'm looking and I'm checking out the Lion's Den VIP section. And you know how the VIP section is set up. It's for the love, joy, peace, soul, and happiness coming in the Lion's Den. Y'all was a little scarce this morning, coming in a little slow, but listen. The winner, Grandpa Holmes' chair, was here, and the rest of y'all got here eventually, so that's all that matters. That's all that matters, children. Y'all got here eventually, and you're here now. The third person in the Lion's Den this morning was Truck Driver. You did that. That's my Mufasa. That's my Lion King. That's my guy. I love me some him. Go ahead and sit down on that love seat right over there and make yourself comfortable, because I have somebody to come and give you some company over there. None other than my friend, Demon Fox to God. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I don't have a pic of my brother, but listen, I appreciate this brother. He is such a blessing to me here in the Lion's Den. I just love his energy. He made it into the VIP section this morning, and him and Truck on that love seat, I can only imagine what kind of conversations those are going to be, because those are two great minds right there. Two great minds sitting together on that love seat this morning. Truck and Demon Fox, I appreciate you both. But the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair is none other than Shelly Thunder. Get your lips, get your hips, get your fingertips right on over there. You are the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair. There she is, y'all. There she is. Isn't she gorgeous, y'all? She came in and she did what she does. Now, listen, y'all, I just want y'all to know she's 2 for 2. She's 2 for 2. Sister said, I ain't playing with y'all this morning. I'm not playing with y'all this week, honey. Since we came back from vacation, she's 2 for 2. That's my queen right there. Now, she told me on yesterday that her hips are spreading like rumors. In the words of Rebel Inc., her hips are spreading like rumors. So we might need to get just a little bit bigger of a throne for her. We might need to up the ante. Because as she said, there's a spread. DJ Rock and Ron, she told it. I didn't say it. She told it. Now, I just put it in the words of Rebel, but to paraphrase what she said, as Rebel would put it, her spread like rumors, Saints. Spread like rumors, Rebel. Nonetheless, that's my girl, and I love me some her. I absolutely positively do. That is the prophetess, and she's up in here, y'all. And she said, listen, I ain't playing with y'all. I'm going to reclaim my throne because that throne is mine, and you better remember it. Now, as we get ready to come in, you know I got to talk about my babies because, listen, they keep me going. They hold it together. They are my moderators, and I tell you, Shelly Thunder. Yes, Shelly Thunder is the prophetess. She comes in, baby. She will hold it together. She keeps us going. I want you to know absolutely positively he's not playing with you. She'll pray the prayer of faith. She will do it. She'll give you a scripture, a word in season. Listen, she said, I said these hips are being... The hips are being disrespectful, Shelly Thunder. The hips are, listen, the hips are thundering. There's a thunderclap. There's a thunderclap, Shelly. There's a thunderclap. You done prophesied it. They said, oh, you want thunderclap? You want thunderclap? For real, for real. I got something for you. That's Shelly. That's what they said. They heard the word. They heard that prophetic word that you put out there on the thunderclap. They said, you want thunderclap? We gonna give you thunderclap. And at the end of the day, listen, I'm telling you, I appreciate you. But at the end of the day, she'll pray for you on your way out. She sure will put you out. She will dispatch you out of the lion's den and do it with so much love and dignity. She will do it. Then we're led by the leader of the pack, y'all. Yes, my Ace Boon Coon, my day one. My friend and my girl, the Rebel Inc. The Rebel Inc. is a streamer, y'all. And if you're not following the Rebel Inc., quit your wicked ways. Just quit them. Quit your wicked ways, because listen, she's going to bless your whole life. We'll be going over to see her in just a few minutes when we depart from this place, but not from her presence. We going over there to her space, and we going to have some anti-morning bangles and the cracks, and maybe even some rants. Who knows what we're going to have, but we going to have something fun over there in my girl's house, the Rebel Inc. Now, yes, Shelly, quit your wicked ways. Quit them. Then you know I got my girl. She's driving this morning. She is. The Quiet Storm. But she's my angel, y'all. She's my angel. Michelle Brownell is my girl. She changes the atmosphere just by being in it. And these three beautiful are my blessed Trinity, and they come with miracles, signs, and wonders. That's the gang. That's them, y'all. That's them. They are Block a Hole Ministry. Don't you try it. Don't you try it. They're of the tribe of Block a Hole. Yes, they are. They are of the tribe of Block a Hole. And so listen, they will put you out if you try to come in here and don't have some act right in you. Try Jesus, not us. Come on, Shelly. Just quit them, DJ Rock and Ron. Just quit them. Those three beautiful ladies are the blessed Trinity, and I love me some of them. Now, looky here. We got beautiful folks here in the Lion's Den. And as my mother says, when you come in the room, speak to somebody. I just want to come around and speak to everybody quick, fast, and in a hurry. We're going to do this, and we're going to get in and get out because we got something to say, and then we're headed over to Rebel's house. I I appreciated seeing Stacy 546 in the room this morning. Good morning to you. KK79, I see you roaring. Come on in here. Good morning to you. Come on, and I see the Rebel Ink said, I forgot to tell you. Oh, you're on a raid trains. Okay. You're on the raid train today at your regular time. Thank you, Rebel. We'll be right there with you. Coming on down, and CJ Manning is in the room. Good morning, and I believe CJ Manning is a streamer. If you're not following CJ Manning, quit your ways, quit them, because you're going to get a blessing right there. I promise you. Demon Fox the God is another streamer. Come on in here. That's my guy. That's my friend. I love you, sir. Please check him out because he is a streamer, y'all. And if you're not following Demon Fox the God, quit your ways. Just quit him. He's going to bless your life. Then we got Yoshi Son 77. He's a streamer also, and that's my son. That's my prince. If you're not following Yoshi Son 77, quit your ways. It must be a whole lot of wicked ways in here. It's a whole lot. But listen, the streamers are representing up in the house. Y'all better let me listen. Let me give it up for the streamers that are in the house, in the house, in the house. The streamers are here. I want you to get out there and follow these babies because they're going to bless your whole life. Then coming on down, I see KK Michelle is in the house, and so much mad love to you. Come on in here. I appreciate you for being in the Lions Den this morning. Looking and I'm booking and I'm checking out who else is in the house. DJ Rockin' Ron is another streamer. And if you're not following DJ Rockin' Ron, that's my brother, y'all. Quit your ways. Just quit him because he's going to bless you. I promise you he will. That's my guy. And we see him often on Sunday mornings when we wrap up. We run right on over into his stream and he blesses us real good. Then one reason, the Bishop of Twitch, he's here, but he's not really here. If you're not following one reason, quit your ways. Just quit him. He's the invisible bishop, but he's in the room every time we come in the house. Love me some you, sir. Love me some you. Do what you do, and I appreciate you for being in the Lions Den. Then who else do I see in the room but my moderator, my girl, the prophetess, Shelly Thunder. Yeah, she's in the room. Saint, she's in the room. Good morning to you. And I appreciate you because you are precious to my soul. Right along with your sister, Michelle Browno. Come on in here. Love me some you. Then we got Truck Driver. That's my Mufasa. That's my Lion King. Keep on trucking, baby. Keep on trucking. I love me some you. And listen, I appreciate you every time I see you in the Lions Den. Then I've got the evangelist, Kachik. She's in the room this morning. She's in the room. She's been on vacation, but she's here. She's back. She's like the Terminator. I'll be back. I want to appreciate BTD Mom and Anita Harvey in the room this morning. That's my beautiful, biggest big sister. So much mad love to you, BTD Mom. Thank you for being in here. And shalom about this time. Stacy 546, thank you for gifting that sub. And Chocolate Girl, welcome to the family. So much mad love to you. Make yourself right at home because we're building something. Then let me see who else is in here, who came in the basement while I was upstairs. Coming on down, I'm looking and I'm booking and I'm making a list and I'm checking it twice and I'm going to find out who's naughty and nice. And Prince Jacob, Mr. Rebuttal, is in the room. He's holding it down out there in the YouTube, y'all. And I believe Prince of Jacob, Mr. Rebuttal, is a streamer in YouTube as well. So I want y'all to go out there and check my brother out. He'll bless you. I promise you he will. T Summers, there's my sister. Listen, T is in the room and she's our partner in crime for the Boss Energy Christmas Cruise. Listen to all of you Christmas cruisers.
We're building something.
Tall Pumps, thank you for the sub, and we are building something. That's my girl right there, and nothing but mad love to you. Now, T Summers, as I was saying, is our partner in crime. She is a streamer, y'all. And if you're not following T Summers, quit Your wicked ways. Just quit them. Quit them. Because she's going to bless your whole life and give you everything you need to know about traveling. Now, I want to say this as well. She gave us a very powerful clip that I'm going to be playing later on today, T. I just want to say thank you for that because it blessed my whole shondo. It really did, T. And anytime, everybody that's out there snatching clips and putting them in the Lion's Den in my Discord, I appreciate you for that. And we're going to hold that for a little bit later, but that was so powerful. I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, coming on down, and I'm looking and I'm booking and I'm seeing who else is in the Lion's Den because I don't want to miss anybody. I want to say good morning to everybody because you all are some beautiful people. You absolutely are the most beautiful people in the world. You surely are. Tall Pumps is pumping tall. That's my girl. That's my friend. And listen, it's so good to have you. It's so good to have you. It's so good to. I miss you when you ain't here, Tall Pumps. It just don't even feel the same. But nonetheless, I know you on assignment and you're taking care of business. But just know we're glad to have you in the. Listen, Tall Pumps. You know how happy I am that you're back. You know how happy I am that you're in the room this morning. It's a poll call. You know it, Shelly. It's a poll call. That's how happy I am, Tall Pumps. That's how happy I am. I'll give you one for free. You don't even have to ask for it. A poll call. I leave sideways reporting for duty. Tall Pumps is in the room. Yoshi son, break it down, break it down. Chocolate girl, get it, get it, get it. K2 Hope, K2 Hoop, drop it low for Jesus. I wasn't calling you that word. I was trying to say K2 Hoop and drop it low at the same time, and it came out K2 Hope, but that was the devil. Come on, it's a poll call. Rebel. Rebel, I was trying to say drop it low and K2 Hoop, and it came out K2 Ho. Good morning, K2 Hoop. You know I love you, girl. You know I love. That was a slip of the tongue. It was a slip of something. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm going to say it like this. Could it be? Could it be? Let me. K2 Hoop, that was the devil. I love you, sis. The devil got in my tongue, y'all. The devil, listen, you know, the devil got in my tongue, K2 Hoop. I love me some you.
This song they're going to sing for you is the devil's in the phone booth dialing 911. Come on, ladies, and bless these people.
Well, the devil's in the phone booth, dialing 911. Well, the church is on their knees and they're loading up the spiritual gun. Well, the devil thought he had us, but the tables are turned, and now he's on the run. The devil's in the phone booth, dialing 911. My whole life has changed since the Lord saved me. I proclaim the mighty name of Jesus Christ to everyone that I see.
The devil has residence in Texas, Rebel.
To success, to lose the Holy Ghost and the Son. The devil's in the phone booth, Dial 911.
Shelly Thunder. We doing it all today. First the butchering of the bishop, now we calling it. It was a mistake. Please believe it. It was absolutely positively. You know how your brain is thinking two things at once. And I'm that person. Please believe when I tell you, I'm talking to you all, my brain, it might be on 4 or 5 different things. It might be 5, 6 days ahead. It's no telling where my brain is at. So sometimes it just happens where it'll start melding and melting things together. So my apologies to you, K2 Hoop. You know I love me some you, but the devil has residence down here in Texas. Please believe it. Now, let me finish calling out the rest of the people since I done butchered that, as Shelly Thunder said, honey. Done butchered it. Just butchered it. But I had to get that in for Tall Pumps, because that's my girl right there. Chocolate Girl is in the room, and so much mad love to you, sis. Thank you for coming on in here. I appreciate you for being in the midst, and welcome to the Lion's Den. MCP812, I understand you're lurking. I appreciate you for lurking. It's good to have you here nonetheless. Nothing but mad love to you. Coming on down, and who else is in the room? And I want to make sure I love talking to everybody. Listen, that poll call was just for you, Tall Pumps. That poll call was just for you. Coming on down, and I'm looking and I'm seeing who else is in the room. I appreciate everybody that's here. Mad love to you. I'm scrolling real fast. Thank you for enduring me in my folly. Y'all know how I do. I'm just silly, and I like it like that. I'm coming over here. I see KK Michelle out here in Facebook. Glenda MH Groves, good morning to you, sis. It's good to see you in the room this morning. Come on in and make yourself right at home. I see you, Anita Harvey. Come on, I see you, and I appreciate you. Nothing but mad love to you. Who else is out here? KK Michelle, you in all the spaces and all the places, along with Anita Harvey. Y'all holding it down out there. I appreciate it. Anna Joe Jones, good morning to you. Coming in from Facebook, I appreciate you, and welcome into the Lion's Den. Nothing but mad love to you. Your day is complete now, K2 Hoop. I'm trying to tell you, I don't know what got a hold to me. Yeah, listen, I'm telling you, nothing but mad love to you, Tall Pumps. Nothing but mad love. Now let's get this party started and get this party crack-a-lacking, because I do have some good things to share on today and some good things to talk about. So we're going to get this moving forward. I appreciate once more and again all of you all that have been contributing out there in my Discord channel. Oh, come on, Stirs the Soul. There's my guy. I sure can't miss you. That's my wordsmith right there. I love me some you, and good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Now listen, get your coffee cups out. Get your coffee cups out. Thank you for that. Honey, y'all know how I'm supposed to do it. Get your coffee cups out. Get your coffee cups. I see you, Prince Jacob, Mr. Rebuttal, the principal take 2. I see those coffee cups. Come on in here, Shelly Thunder. I see your coffee cups. Y'all help spiritual get back on thought, get back on track. Help me be spiritual. Stirs the soul. Hugs and love to you, my brother. I love me some you. Kai Chick, I see your coffee cup. KK79, I see your coffee cup. Fairly all day, my dearest friend is here. Come on in here, Fairly all day. That's my girl right there. That's my dearest friend. She's a whole vibe and a whole blessing. It's good to see you in here this morning with your little gorgeous self. Good to see you. I appreciate you, and come on in the room. Stacy 546, I see your coffee cups. I see your coffee cups. Honey 41, good morning to you. Buenos to you too, Stirs the Soul. Buenos dias to you, my brother. Now listen, we're going to get ready, and we're going to have just a little bit of convo this morning. I want to know if you know, this is for, put a 1 in the chat. If you know of whatever reparations are being done in your area, put a 1 in the chat. If you know the reparations that are being done in your area, put a 1 in the chat. Because while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, this is what I'm going to start the convo with this morning. Whilst we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, it was reported to me, crazy Berrytown. There's my beautiful friend. Listen, if you're not following Crazy Berrytown, quick, your ways, just quit them. Matter of fact, she is the originator of quit your wicked ways. Cause listen, I tell you what, I love me some you, Crazy Berrytown. I love me some you. She'll Zumba you to Zion. She'll give you chit chat and a sip. She will do it. She's my girl. She's my beautiful friend. Please, if you're not following Crazy Berrytown, quit them. That's where it all started, Crazy Berrytown. That's where it all started. Now, if you are aware of any reparations movement that is going on in your area, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. I'm going to come here because this is one of the things that someone, I believe it was Dr. Dady Priest, put this particular clip in, and then I'm going to transition over to another element. But this woman is talking about reparations. And, you know, I told you all, we're in the point now, and we're in the phase now where I'm really wanting to not just talk about the things that need to be changed, but I'm also in a mindset for solutions. For those of you that are subscribed in Patreon, I will be in solutions today at 12 o'clock noon, and we'll be having some convo. I think right now I'm going to talk about structure. I'm going to talk about LLC. I'm also going to talk about umbrellas for some of you that have several different things that you want to accomplish and you want to put them all and house them under an umbrella. We'll be chit-chatting about those things for those that are interested. So solutions will be held today at 12 o'clock high noon. Meet me there in Patreon. But at the end of the day, as we're talking about getting and moving to another level, Disco Darren 1966, good morning to you. Disco Darren is a streamer, y'all. And if you're not following Disco Darren, quit your ways. Just quit them. Listen, I appreciate you for your 3,000 plus. Come on, let's give it up for Disco Darren. The stream on yesterday was awesome. That's my guy. And mad love to you. Please go out there and follow him. He will bless your whole life. Now, as I was saying, we've got to come to a place of solutions. So that's what's going on in Patreon with me right now. For those that are subscribed out there in Patreon, and as well, those of you that have come into the VIP section, make sure hit me up at solutions at thespiritualthoughtleader.com. Solutions at thespiritualthoughtleader.com for those that have been in the VIP section that would like to come into the solutions. And it's a think tank. It's a think tank. We're talking, we're throwing things around, we're discussing things. They have been beautiful, beautiful sessions. And the input is two-way because not only am I sharing, but you all are sharing back with me in that session. I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, I want to say one of the things as we're talking about solutions is to not forget that there needs to be reparations. Now, I know people feel different ways about this, but at the end of the day, we started talking on yesterday. I'll continue sharing some more about what is going on with the American Opportunity Accounts Act that Ayanna Pressley, along with who else? Cory Booker, and there's several on that bill. If you want to go out and find more about that, I've put that in Discord as well for those of you that are interested. Because listen, we got to understand and figure out how are we going to make amends, especially to the people of the Black community that have been held at bay and held down for so long. We got to start having this conversation, how we going to fix that and make it right. You can't, anybody, and this goes for a relationship in any level, you can't just skate over something like it didn't happen when there's been a breach and there's been an offense, and just from this point forward, like what happened in the past never happened. No, ma'am, no, sir. Because you know what? I promise you, if you try to do it, what's going to happen is, what had happened was, you're going to get somewhere down the road and you're going to hit, it's almost like trying to sweep all of that stuff under the carpet. Then you walk through the room and start tripping over the carpet and all of that stuff that's under the carpet. It's actually a scenario that has got to be dealt with. You can't just act like it didn't happen. The Chad T.I., come on in here. I hope we get reparations. I hope everybody that deserves the reparations gets them. But I'm going to tell you what, the Black experience is one that we cannot, absolutely cannot. The country was built corrupt. Absolutely, Chad, it absolutely was. Everybody that was mistreated and everybody that was abused needs to be addressed. However, I will say the uniqueness of the black community is that everybody else that has light complected skin can blend in. Everybody else that has lighter complected, less melanin, at the end of the day, has the opportunity to blend in. Black folks still get discriminated against just when we walk in the door black. And it still exists to this day. So this is something I want to share. This sister, she's talking about reparations. I want to come here. Dr. Dady Priest sent this in, and I want to share. And thank you, Chad, for being here. I appreciate you. Now, I want to come in and deal with this concept and listen to what's going on here. Here we go.
Americans, I feel that if the government isn't going to settle its debt, there is no hope for this country. Until we reconcile the balance sheet for all the stolen lives, stolen labor, and the fact that this country got to skip all of the growth years to become an economic superpower on the backs of enslaved black Americans, until we honor the treaties in the sacred land of the indigenous and hold true to the word that we gave, a treaty which is supposed to supersede even the Constitution, there's no hope for unity. America loves to pride itself on this idea that it's a country that keeps its word. Its handshake is as good as its signature on a contract. But our signature on a contract...
What happened to the... What happened? Come on.
How do I feel about reparations for black Americans? I feel that if the government isn't going to settle its debt, there is no hope for this country. Until we reconcile the balance sheet for all the stolen lives, stolen labor, and the fact that this country got to skip all of the growth years to become an economic superpower on the backs of enslaved black Americans, until we honor the treaties in the sacred land of the indigenous and hold true to the word that we gave, a treaty which is supposed to supersede even the Constitution, there's no hope for unity. America loves to pride itself on this idea that it's a country that keeps its word. Its handshake is as good as its signature on a contract. But our signature on a contract...
Well, for some reason, it keeps hanging up right there. We're going to go ahead and move on with it. But the idea, again, you cannot, that's what I was addressing. You cannot just act like nothing ever happened. You can't just move on like, okay, let's just start from this point going forward. You cannot continue this idea. And this is where I think we really have to address where the rubber needs to meet the road. Things are still baked in. And we talked about this a few weeks ago, how it was not for equality that Asian Americans began to sue, but it is really that they sued so they didn't have to be considered black. At the point in time that we moved forward after the Civil War and they began to say, who would be grafted in, if you will, into whiteness? Because there was no such thing as white. Let's be clear on that. There was no such thing as white. And the same way we looked at all the other ethnic groups that were also not considered to be white, European, all of those groups that were treated and mistreated, they were allowed, however, to come into, after the Civil War, to come into their quote unquote whiteness, but black folks still were left in the cold. Now, let's not forget that. Let's not move outside of that. Let's deal with the reality of that. And that reality still exists today. So until we get to a point where we begin to understand, for the things that we've done, we've got to make it right. Now, let me stop just for a minute because some folks came in. Sheila Miles, good morning to you. Barbara Hardy, good morning to you. I saw you come in. Let me see who else came in. Good Barbara Hardy, that's my These Are They friend. Nothing but mad love to you. Anybody in the Kansas City area, I will be in Kansas City for these are they 52 years of celebrating their awesomeness in the gospel music industry. If you're in Kansas City, St. Louis, St. Joe, any of the surrounding area, Wichita, y'all want to be in Kansas City, because listen, these are they. It's going down Saturday night, and we gonna have some church up in there. You're gonna hear some of the best singing you ever wanted to hear. I want to appreciate you for coming in. Crystal Method, I see you, sis. Come on in here, and nothing but mad love to you. Coming on down, and listen, I'm looking at the Chad T.I. I see you in here, and you really talking. Come on in and make yourself at home. SK8843, I see you, and I want to make sure, I think that's everybody that came in that I may have missed. If somehow I missed you, please know that it was not my heart to miss you at all. Now, this is what I want to bring up, though, for the Kansas City area. And that's why I asked, does anybody know what's going on in your respective areas? Because in Kansas City, this is something recent that happened just yesterday, the day before, somewhere in there. Kansas City, and yes, somebody said California is actually, as a state, talking about how to address reparations in Cali. And that's why I want you all to stay alert and stay aware, because this is the other piece of it. I don't want things to be out, just kind of fly through real fast and nobody knows about it. And they're like, well, we talked about it, but nobody said anything. I want us to be aware. So if you're in California, California has been talking and addressing reparations. Please stay on top of it. KC, listen, Missouri, reparations in Kansas City, it's on the clock. Do you, come on, now listen, this is, oh my goodness. Now, this is where I've come from. I was raised in Kansas City, Kansas, and lived in Kansas City, Missouri. That's where I came from. So when I hear that Kansas City is on the clock and we're talking about approving, now stay on it, y'all, because the commission has to approve it. We ought to be screaming at the top of our lungs. We need to be educating ourselves to every point, every issue, every jot, every tittle. We need to know exactly what are you talking about and how are you doing it, because what we don't want is for them to say, well, we put it out there, but nobody said anything. And the next thing you know, they've swept it right under the rug. And like, so when we come back later on, say, we want reparations. It was on the clock. It was on the books, but nobody came out. Kansas City, I want you to go out there. I do have this in my Discord. I want you all to go out there, see what the reparations are in depth that they're talking about for reparations in Kansas City. And then I want you all to show up and show out. Show everybody that's in the Kansas City area that's on here. And I know all of you in Facebook, everybody that's in the Kansas City area, put in a 1 in the chat, because I want you to make very, very sure that you go out and find out everything about reparations that they put on the clock. And when I say it's on the clock, the thing I want us to understand, there's a window of time that we got to get some things done. And isn't it interesting? We have suffered at the hands of this system for this many years, but then when we start talking about reparations, it's on the clock. Y'all understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? We've been abused and used. We've been manipulated. We've been everything you can think of for this many years. But when we start talking about reparations, it's on the clock. So I want us to stay very, very alert, stay very, very aware, because at the end of the day, different pockets are popping up and talking about reparations. So again, my initial question, and nobody put a 1 in the chat, my initial question was, what on the issue of reparations is being done in the area where you live? If you don't know, try to dig it out, try to hash it out, try to find out what exactly may be being talked about, because I'm so sure that a lot of people in Kansas City do not know that reparations is on the table, but on the clock. So this part right here, what did you say, Disco Darren? Let me see. You said something there. Let me scroll back up. I know you said something. So they don't have to discuss money amount. Come on here, Disco. Come on. So at the end of the rock, listen, Keith, come on, Keith, good morning to you. I missed you, but blessings to you. Honey, Plymouth Rock fell on us. Fell on us. So at the end of the day, yes, Chad and SK, they have benefited. This nation was built from enslaved people. Now, just call a spade and quit playing. This country was built by enslaved people. So at the end of the day, as we begin to talk about how are we going to make this thing right, please be aware that reparations are needed. Reparations are required if you want to make this thing right, which again, when we talk about what American Opportunity Accounts Act is all about, and I'm going to go back and touch on that again. Come on, Stirs. No, that rock was thrown. I'm trying to tell you, they stoned us with the rock. Come on here, Stirs. You better talk. So at the end of the day, I want you to stay alert because we've got some things that are on the agenda, but I have the feeling there's a whole lot that's gonna be real. Listen, it's gonna be real quiet. Listen. It's gonna be a whisper. Y'all know the whisper song. It's gonna be a whisper. They're not gonna shout it from the rooftops. They're not gonna tell us. They just gonna put it out there, do what they gonna do, vote it down, and then say, we tried, but nobody said. Find out what reparations are going on in your area and stay on top of it. Would you do that for me, please? Now, I'm going to throw this out here. And listen, I appreciate everybody that was putting stuff in the chat. I really appreciate you for what you had out here. Truck driver put this in, and I'm going to run this past you. Because at the end of the day, I want to have a little bit of conversation around this concept. Now, some of you may think, and I have not researched it, even the crickets are going to be whispering. Stirs. Even the crickets are going to be whispering, tiptoeing, and writing on dry erase boards. You better believe it. Come on, Yoshi son. I'm going to give it to you. Could it be? The devil. Baby, ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. I've already played the devil song this morning. So listen, ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. And yes, I have been hearing a lot of conversation of late. And so get ready to hear more of it. As people are speaking up and speaking out, there are more angry white people that are coming and saying, if you don't like it, then leave. We're not leaving anywhere. We built this country. We were born in this country. We belong in this country. We ain't going nowhere. So all of that, if you don't like it, leave. Miss me with that. I see you talking, Yoshi son. And that ain't the way we going. That's not the way it's going down. So at the end of the day, this is where I want us to be aware. Now, this was sent to us again by truck driver. And I want to get you all's feedback on this. This happened just the other day in the hearings, and I want to just roll this beautiful beans footage.
You're saying the government has created weather tampering techniques so that the, quote, New World Order will be able to starve millions of Americans.
Worldwide.
Millions of Americans, and to control the rest.
Yes, sir, and that's my belief. As bizarre as that sounds, if somebody had told me that equipment even existed 10 years ago, I would have thought they were nuts, sir. And at this point in time, we have all the documents to prove it. And if you think that 85 tornadoes takes place in the middle of our growing area by simultaneous accident, I'm sorry. With the equipment that's already set up internationally, and as bizarre as that is, it is proven and documented. We will supply you with those documents. As bizarre as that is, I would say that weather wars, and this is quoting actually Senator Claiborne Pell himself, that they are the greatest weapon ever created in the world, and that's the senator's own statement. So yes, I do stand on that.
Thank you.
Now I'm gonna play that one more time so that those that didn't catch it the first time round. What he is describing here is the idea of weather wars and weather being used to manipulate outcomes that the government wants to have. I'm gonna play this one more time and let's have a chit chat.
You're saying the government has created weather tampering techniques so that the, quote, New World Order will be able to starve millions of Americans.
Worldwide.
Millions of Americans, and to control the rest.
Yes, sir, and that's my belief. As bizarre as that sounds, when if somebody had told me that that equipment even existed 10 years ago, I would have thought they were nuts, sir. And at this point in time, we have all the documents to prove it. And if you think that 85 tornadoes takes place in the middle of our growing area by simultaneous accident, I'm sorry. With the equipment that's already set up internationally, and as bizarre as that is, it is proven and documented. We will supply you with those documents. As bizarre as that is, I would say that weather wars, and this is quoting actually Senator Claiborne Pell himself, that they are the greatest weapon ever created in the world, and that's the senator's own statement. So yes, I do stand on that.
Thank you.
Now, and thank you, Truck. And I see you, Crystal. I'm still researching because I want to get my facts right. When I saw that Truck had put this in, I started researching and started backing it up. Thank you, Shelly. I started trying to see more. I wanted to have more information than just talking off of this particular clip. Now, I'm not oblivious, however, and I did put this in. I'm not oblivious to the fact that what the gentleman is saying, if you know that the countries have developed methods and are utilizing methods to control the weather, put a 1 in the chat. If you know, if you're aware, because some people are completely oblivious to this idea. If you know that countries have developed methods by which to manipulate and control the weather, put a 1 in the chat. I see you, Tall Plumps. Put a 1 in the chat. I see you, Chad. Put a 1 in the chat. I see you, Stirs the Soul. Now, this is the thing. This is the thing. I see you, Crystal Method. So this is the thing. For those that are unaware.
It's a race.
Oh, Big Moochie, baby. Oh, my goodness. It's a raid. One reason and the gospel takeover. To your right. To your left. Hey, 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 hey. Now walk it on back. To your right. To your left.
Thank you for the sub. We're building something.
Hey. Now walk it on back. One reason and the gospel takeover. KB Browns, I see you. Miss Fee 07, I see you. Miss Purplish, I see you. Come on in here, Misty Blue 3, I see you. Come on, one reason the Bishop of Twitch is here with the gospel takeover family, and I see you in the room. Come on in here. Make yourself at home, Miss Frosty 60803, and thank you so much for the resub. We're building something. Hey, to your right, to your left. Hey, hey, hey. Now walk it on back. That's the way we do it, y'all. That's the way we do it. And I appreciate one reason the Bishop of Twitch, you are so beautiful to me. And welcome into the Lion's Den 16 months in a row, Miss. Come on, Miss Frosty 60803. An overflow of love to you, my sister. An overflow of love. Now, Jazzy Mimi, come on in here. Mad love to you. I appreciate you for being in the lion's den. Now, I'm just going to play this clip once more real quickly, and then I want to come to this next point. So for those of you that just came in, there is a hearing that's taking place where this brother is, come on, Jazzy Mimi, check it out. Just beautiful people, beautiful people in the room. Love every last one of you. Now, check this out. I'm going to share this once more and again, and then we're going to have this convo about this brother's comments. And this is for the people that just came in. I'm the Schoolhouse Rock, Keith. Thank you. Now, here we go, and we're going to comment on this further, but let's go.
You're saying the government has created weather tampering techniques so that the, quote, New World Order will be able to starve millions of Americans.
Worldwide.
Millions of Americans, and to control the rest.
Yes, sir, and that's my belief. As bizarre as that sounds, when if somebody had told me that that equipment even existed 10 years ago, I would have thought they were nuts, sir. And at this point in time, we have all the documents to prove it. And if you think that 85 tornadoes takes place in the middle of our growing area by simultaneous accident, I'm sorry. With the equipment that's already set up internationally, and as bizarre as that is, it is proven and documented. We will supply you with those documents. As bizarre as that is, I would say that weather wars, and this is quoting actually Senator Claiborne Pell himself, that they are the greatest weapon ever created in the world, and that's the senator's own statement. So yes, I do stand on that.
Thank you.
Now, this is what I want to address, because for those that are unaware, now he said 10 years ago. Now, you saw the man that was in charge trying to act like he was so incredulous to the idea. So you're saying that, and the goal there was to make him look crazy, Crystal Method. And you're talking population control? Absolutely. The goal there was to make him look crazy in making this statement. Now, for those that are oblivious, I'm going to come here, and all of this is in my Discord, so you can go out and read it in its entirety. But this is the reality that some of us need to grapple with, the reality of it. While that sounds, and the man tried to make him sound like he was absolutely positively crazy, the reality of it is, now, he's talking about 10 years ago, and he knows better. The Environmental Modification Convention, ENMOD, okay, they came out with a treaty that they signed, and they didn't get everybody to sign it, but this was the basic idea of the Environmental Modification Convention. When we go back to the Vietnam War, they were using weather modification then, and they were seeding the clouds, and it was raining on the people and flooding the folks out. Now, y'all hear what I said. I'm talking about the United States. I'm not talking about somebody else. I'm talking about the United States. A part of their warfare was that they seeded the clouds in an area to make it continuously rain on the people and flooded the people out. Now I'm going to say it one more time for the people in the back that don't understand what I'm saying. The United States of America used seeding techniques that whereby they were able to modify the environment to cause a pouring of rain on the area that they were doing combat in to flood the people out. Now, when the United States of America began to utilize this environmental modification to use it as warfare, then they came out and they went to Geneva, I believe it was a Geneva Convention treaty that was put in place, that the governments would agree that they would not use this technology of manipulation of the weather to flood out and kill and control people. to control populations, to control areas. Now, I saw my guy put in, let me see, who was that? Put in the Chad. The Chad put in New Orleans. Now, I'm going to say this about New Orleans from everything that I can see and understand. New Orleans was not just a matter of the weather, but New Orleans was also a result of them blowing up the levees. It was not just a matter of Katrina sweeping in there and tearing up the place. It was also a matter that they blew up the levees and got the 9th Ward, which was predominantly black, and New Orleans was predominantly black, got the 9th Ward displaced and removed from their places of habitation, but the French quarters were never touched. Explain it to me, Lucy. Y'all not ready for me. Explain it to me, Lucy. You tell me. Now, at the end of the day, as many of the people from New Orleans were saying, New Orleans is one of the most oil-rich states in the Union. And at the end of the day, what they wanted was that land and that oil. Now, what they had done with the oil, they'd already figured out a way to run pipelines offshore so that they could drill with those offshore drilling setups and say they were not doing it in New Orleans, that they were not doing it in Louisiana, but all they were doing was piping it out there into the ocean so that they could say that's where they were getting it from. But at the end of the day, it's Louisiana's oil. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. My Lock Journey, my beautiful friend, come on in here, and so much mad love to you. My Lock Journey is a streamer, and if you're not following My Lock Journey, quit your ways. Just quit them, because she's going to bless your whole life. She is the Lock Whisperer. Now, this is what I want you all to understand. So while we have, and like the man said, have you ever seen 85 tornadoes at the same time rip through one particular area? Now, for those that find this incredulous, it's just impossible that people would do this to the people. I need you to wake up and smell the coffee. I need you to wake up and smell the coffee. Now, when I say those types of things, it's not because I'm trying to jump on this wagon of conspiracy theorists, but I am saying let's not be oblivious to the fact that the same way, come on, T, keep your paperwork safe, keep it secured, and keep it updated. You better talk in here, T. You better talk in here. And then that was the thing, T. They tried to say the records of land ownership had been destroyed in the flood. Don't tell me in that time you did. I want to say, was that 2008 when we had Katrina? It was somewhere there about. You're not gonna tell me they hadn't stuff. They did not have things up in the cloud. Quit lying. Just quit lying.
Why you always lying?
They didn't have records. It got destroyed in the flood, and they couldn't prove who owned what land and da 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 da. You heard what T said. Keep your paperwork safe, secured, and updated. So this is this conversation, and thank you, truck driver, for putting this in. Now, I had not seen this. I have not done all the research on it. Crystal Method, I think you were asking. I can't speak to the exact because I haven't got to the root of it, and I don't want to give misinformation. Nonetheless, I do want to say what the man is saying is not crazy. I'm watching you people. Come on in here. It was 2005. Thank you, Misty Blue. Thank you. I was off by a few years, but I knew it was somewhere in there. I'm watching you people. Welcome to the Lion's Den, and nothing but mad love to you. And thank you for riding that rain train over with One Reason. I appreciate you. So at the end of the day, what the man is purporting and saying is not unbelievable, because all the way back in the 40s and the 50s, while that man tried to sit there and say 10 years ago. No, we ain't talking about no 10 years ago. We're talking about stuff that we have been, developing since all the way back in the 40s and the 50s. Do not be deceived. Do not be deceived. Do not be carried away with misinformation. This is not a recent event. And the reason why they had them sign the treaty. Hear me when I say this. They had them sign the treaty. Let me go back and get the date so y'all can know I'm not just over here. They signed the treaty in 1977, 18th of May, 1977. Then they amended it and put it into force October the 5th in 1978. So we're talking about 77, 78. As far back as then, this treaty has been in place where we have said as a country, we will not use this technology. Now, notice they didn't say they wouldn't use it for technology. They said for any purposes at all. They said they would not use it in a warlike manner. Now, be clear on that. They said the treaty does not say they will not use it. The treaty says they will not use it for warlike manner. Now, y'all be clear on that. Let's say it one more time. It didn't say they wouldn't utilize the technology. It said they would not use it as they had done against the people in the war. They would not use it as a weapon of war. That's what the treaty says. Crystal Method, they will weaponize anything. Do you hear me? They will weaponize anything. So basically what this man is appearing before, and as he said, we've got the documents, we've got the proof. Don't sit here and act like we're crazy. We've got the documents, we've got the proof. Now, as I said, Crystal Method, I'm gonna have to do some more researching into that because I want to know more and I want to speak more intelligently about facts, not just hearsay. So for that purpose, I'm gonna lay off. But truck driver, thank you for the clip. Thank you for putting it on the radar and for the blip, because at the end of the day, please believe me, the man, and he said he's got proof and they got documents and everything else. I don't doubt it in the least. So that you're aware that this is going on in our world and in our country. I want you to be clear on that. Please be clear. Cloud computing appears to have been coined in 1996, but made publicly available in 2006. Come on with that, Misty Blue. But I'm going all the way back to, and thank you for that. I appreciate everybody that puts information in here. I appreciate you. The convention bans weather warfare, but at the end of the day, I want to go back. I'm trying to get when did they actually... They used it for hostile purposes in the early 1970s. In the early 1970s. Now, I even challenge that date. I really, really do. In the early 1970s is when they're admitting. That's when y'all understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. That's when they admitted to using modifying of the weather for hostile purposes, for war. That's when they admitted. Please be clear on that. And like I said, I would still challenge that date for real, for real. I would definitely challenge that date. Now, this is where I want to come. And this conversation right here is going to lead us into where we started yesterday talking about the American Opportunity Accounts Act. And I still want to talk about that a little bit more. Let me see what you all are telling me. A warlike manner. Isn't that the same as war? Stacy 546. Don't you love the euphemisms and the way that we word things? So you got to give yourself a gap where you can work around it and be able to say, well, we said this, but this is that. You understand? We said this, but this is that. So it gives me that loophole. Please believe that with the laws and with legislation, there's always going to be a loophole. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. When you talk about law and when you talk about legislation, there's always going to be a loophole. Please believe it. I'm going to say it one more and again for the people in the back that can't hear it and understand it. When you deal with the law and when you deal with legislation, there's always going to be a loophole. There's a way out for somebody. Please understand that. There's a way out for somebody. So Be the Rock, come on in here, my brother. So much mad love to you. Come on in here. Be the Rock is a streamer, and if you're not following Be the Rock, quick, Chewy Ways, come on and follow my brother. He'll bless your whole life. John Studios is another streamer in the house. So much mad love to you, John Studios. Come on in here. It's nothing but mad love to you. He is a streamer, and baby, if you're not following John Studios, quit Chewy Ways. Just quit them. Because listen, there's a blessing for you over there with John. And John's out here blessing the streamers. I love you for that, brother. He's not stingy, but he's trying to make everybody win. He wants to make sure everybody wins. And I love that about you, John. You're my guy. Mad love to you. That's my angel. Now, that's it. There's an escape hatch. One reason. There's always going to be an escape hatch. And our government is the best at building in loopholes in everything they do. You better believe it, Stacy. Loopholes are always been into... But those deceivers, KB Browns, that's my brother. Those deceivers, you better talk. Haven't we learned that lesson from Trump? We need to wake up. Absolutely, Keith. And at the end of the day, I want us to be clear. Michelle, first cloud seeding was 13 November 19. You better come on in here. The first cloud seeding was 13th of November 1946, used for forest fires. Supposedly. That's my angel. I told you she changes the atmosphere just by being in. 1946. That's why, and you got to be careful, even in the information and the way that they release it, because they would make you have it seem like the 70s. No, but I told y'all the 40s or the 50s. It was the 40s or the 50s. So listen, Michelle just put it out there plain, live and in living color. 13 November 1946. I love you, Michelle, because that's the way you roll. You my girl. And the supposed use for forest fires. How can we have all these wildfires that they can't put out now? Oh, anyway, let me keep going. This right here. Now, I went out and I got another copy of it. But this right here was provided to us by T. Summers. Hold your weave and hold your wig, because I really, really love this one. I really, really. It's almost heart-wrenching, but at the same time, I love it. I love it. I love it. So let me come on back live. Wait a minute. I'm going to let this Fairly All Days in here, so I'm going to let this roll for Fairly All Day. My Life Journey, this is y'all song. This is y'all song.
Well, the church is on their knees and they're loading up the spiritual gun. Well, the devil thought he had us, but the tables are turned, and now he's on the run. The
Crazy Berry Town.
Dialing 911.
Oh.
My whole life has changed since the Lord saved me. I proclaim the mighty name of Jesus Christ to everyone that I see. You know the keys to the kingdom are the secret to success. To lose the Holy Ghost in the sun. The devil's in the phone booth, dialing 911.
One of the faves here in the Lion's Den. I call it the devil song. Now, I'm going to go back to what you said. One reason. You got Canada still on fire. Canada still I'm watching you people say run it back. I'm watching you people. I'm gonna do this just for you. This just for you.
After this song they're gonna sing for you.
Lord,
is the
y'all,
devil's
and
in the
this
phone
song.
booth dialing 911. Coffee ladies,
Y'all, listen. Listen.
Well, the devil's in the phone booth, dialing 911. Well, the church is on their knees and they're loading up the spiritual gun.
Good morning, 713.
Well, the devil thought he had us, but the tables are and now he's on the run.
Panic at the Pin Show. Good morning.
911.
Y'all dancing. Y'all need Jesus.
Since the Lord saved me,
Y'all need Jesus.
I proclaim the mighty name of Jesus Christ to everyone that I see. You know the keys to the kingdom are the secret to success. To lose the Holy Ghost and the Son. The devil's in the phone booth, dialing 911.
I just don't understand why y'all love that song. That's a mystery to me. Fairly, I already know she's gonna say that's a whole bop. Now, the devil's in the phone booth. The fact that, as Tall Pump saying, Chicago is still reaping the smoke. Canada is still on fire. We got places out there in California. Every time you turn around, they cannot put those fires out. So at the end of the day, I got your yes indeed on the bop. If that's what they created it for and that's what they used it for, why can't they put these wildfires out? Explain it to me, Lucy. If that's what they created it for and that's what they use it for, why can't they put these fires out? Somebody explain it to me, Lucy. Explain it to me, Lucy. I can't get no understanding. So at the end of the day, I'm not buying what you selling. I'm not buying what you selling. Plus, California has a lot of random mudslides without any rain. Come on here, K2 Hoop. Explain it to me, my lock journey. Explain it to me. So at the end of the day, water doesn't extinguish gas. Come on and talk to me, Keith. I got you. I hear you. I hear you. At the end of the day, I just want to say, believe what you will, but listen, pay attention. Y'all know that's how I tell you in the lines then. Pay attention. Don't swallow everything hook, line, and sinker, because some of this stuff is a lie. Please believe it.
Why you always lying?
Now, this right here, I went out and I found the original footage. And let me say this to some of you all that are putting in clips. I appreciate you for the clips that you put in. Some of them I have to work around because I'm starting to get copyright strikes because in the background it's playing music that is copywritten. So I try to go out and find the material in its raw state without the music so I don't keep getting copyright strikes. Nonetheless, this one does have some music in it from the actual clip when it was shown on the television show, but I'll take this strike because this one is worth showing. It's not one of the songs. And so for any of you all that have been wondering why some of your clips I'm not playing, if I can't find that clip in its original form where I'm not going to get a copyright strike when it's got the music playing in the background, that's why I'm more than likely not playing your clip. It's not because I don't appreciate what you've sent in, but I'm trying to avoid the copyright issue. Now, this right here, I want you all, absolutely, my lock journey, absolutely. It's the music that they're after, and they have a means by which they can go out there, and those algorithms and the way they've got it set up, they see, honey, they search and seek it out, and they find it, baby. They find that music, and they will give you a strike on it. So this right here, I'm going to play. It is in my Discord. It is in my Discord. So for those that want to go back and see it, because I can promise you they're probably going to mute it because of the copyright. However, this right here. This right here. Now, everybody pay attention because I love it. I love it. I love it. But it is very heartwarming and heart-wrenching at the same time. But listen, this right here. Thank you, T. Thank you, T. Thank you.
This was one of the most controversial broadcasts of the 1968 season. It drew awards and protests in equal measure. Here is its key scene.
What is your nationality?
My nationality is Afro-American.
What is freedom?
Freedom is black power.
What is black power?
Black power is...
Do you know what black power is?
No.
Well, then you should never make any statements if you don't know what they mean.
How old are you, young man?
I am 4 years old.
You're not 4 yet. Now you tell me your right age. How old are you? How old are you?
I am 4 years old.
Are you sure you're 4?
Yes.
You're gonna let me turn you around and tell you you're some other age? You're 6 years old, Eric.
No.
I can't hear you, Eric.
No.
Are you being frightened by me?
No.
I'm a teacher. I said you're 6.
I am 4 years old.
All right, then. You stand up for it, then. You shouldn't be weak. You stand up and say it. You ought to scream it in my face if I try to tell you different, right?
Yes.
Have a seat. Stand up, young man. Are you a Negro, Travis?
No.
Are you a flunky, Travis?
No.
What are you?
I am black and beautiful.
And what else are you? Are you a boy?
No.
What are you?
Oh, man.
What kind of man?
Black and beautiful
Or
man.
what kind? Are you an old man or a young man?
Young man.
You, young man, you come here. You're a Negro.
No.
I am your teacher. You are a Negro.
No.
Suppose I threatened to beat you, what would you say? Aren't you a Negro now?
No.
What are you?
I'm black and beautiful.
What is your nationality?
My nationality is Afro-American.
Suppose I had some money in my pocket. Suppose I gave you $1 to say that you're an American Negro. This is money now. Money talks. Money talks. This dollar. And if you don't say it, you don't get it. You're an American Negro, aren't you?
No.
You won't have any money. You know you need money, don't you?
Yes.
You need money to live, don't you?
Yes.
All right. All you have to say, Leon, is that you're an American Negro. Aren't you an American Negro? Are you an American Negro?
No.
What are you?
I'm black and beautiful.
What's your nationality?
My nationality is Afro-American.
Very good, man. Keep it up. Go sit down. You had to think about that a minute, didn't you?
Yeah.
All right. All right, everybody. What is your nationality?
My nationality is Afro-American.
I tell you, I love that. I love that. I'm gonna play it one more time just for good measure and good pleasure. Listen, we need this back. We're talking about how we can transform our communities, how we can bring about the change and be the change that we want to be and see. King Coogee, there's my sire. King Coogee is a streamer. And if you're not following King Coogee, quit your wicked ways. And yes, do your research because half truths will tear you down. Follow my brother. He's going to bless you. This is so powerful to me. This is boss energy in action. This is, and I love, now we're talking about, check this out, 4 and 5-year-old children. 4 and 5-year-old children. And there are so many elements of this. I'm not going to be a sellout to $1, even though I need $1 to live. I'm not going to say something that's not my truth. You can't bully me into saying I'm a different whatever you want me to say just because you want me to say it and you have a position of authority. I love it. I love it. I love it. But I'm the teacher. I'm the one that has charge of this room. You say what I tell you to say. Man, this right here, My Life Journey, this right here, Be the Rock, SK8843, DJ Roll'em, there's my guy. Listen, he's a streamer. DJ Roll'em, if you're not following him, quit your ways. He's going to bless your whole life. But this is so powerful. Crystal Method, this is so powerful. Shelly Thunder. I want to roll this again, Stacy 546, because, and again, T, thank you for sharing this with the Lion's Den this morning. I appreciate you, sis. This is so powerful. Can we just watch it? I think it deserves another viewing. If we look at everything else and we spend time on everything else, let's absorb. Let's take in every drop of this video that we can absorb, because this right here is boss energy. And this is what we need to be giving our 3, 4, 5-year-old babies and even younger than that. But look at the resolve. Look at the ability to not give in to the temptation. Look at the ability to not give in to, oh my goodness, it's money involved. If it's money involved, I'm going to get my coin. And I have to say, for us that are making it in the Black community, don't let that coin run your life. Don't let that coin make you be a sellout. Don't let that coin create an Uncle Tom. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. No ma'am, no sir, don't do it. Not for that coin. I love this. I'm going to play it again because come on, Cassandra Woke 2022. So much love for you. These are great seeds right here. And I love the fact that this is in the learning environment. Our classrooms, what have our classrooms become? What are our classrooms able to give our students? Not just Black students, but all students, but especially if we're talking to Black students, especially, you know, I just have to say, 440 Shorty, come on in here. Mad love to you. I thank you for joining us this morning. I have to say, if I was in the teaching classroom and I had these kids in my room, I'd probably, honey, every morning, baby, we'd be working it out just like this. Once more and again, I just want to applaud these young people. And I would love, personally, I would love to know where these young people are today. I'm going to show this one more time, and then I want to have some chit chat, because believe it if you will, folk had negative convo about this clip. I'm talking about in 2023. Now, you'll notice here, he's going to identify in 1968 when this aired, it got a lot of negative energy. I would expect that in 1968, right? But I want to talk to you guys even about the negative energy in 2023 about this clip that is circulating on the internet.
This was one of the most controversial broadcasts of the 1968 season. It drew awards and protests in equal measure. Here is its key scene.
What is your nationality?
My nationality is Afro-American.
What is freedom?
Freedom is Black power.
What is Black power?
Black power is...
Do you know what Black power is?
No.
Well, then you should never make any statements if you don't know what they mean.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
All right. How old are you, young man?
I am 4 years old.
You're not 4 yet. Now you tell me your right age. How old are you? How old are you?
I am 4 years old.
Are you sure you're 4?
Yes.
You're gonna let me turn you around and tell you you're some other age? You're 6 years old, Eric.
No.
I can't hear you, Eric.
No.
Are you being frightened by me?
No.
I'm a teacher. I said you're 6.
I am 4 years old.
All right, then. You stand up for it, then. You shouldn't be weak. You stand up and say it. You ought to scream it in my face if I try to tell you different, right?
Yes.
Have a seat. Stand up, young man. Are you a Negro, Travis?
No.
Are you a flunky, Travis?
No.
What are you?
I am Black and beautiful.
And what else are you? Are you a boy?
No.
What are you?
Oh, man.
What kind of man?
Black and beautiful
Well,
man.
what kind? Are you an old man or a young man?
Young man.
You, young man, you come here. You're a Negro.
No.
I am your teacher. You are a Negro.
No.
Suppose I threatened to beat you, what would you say? Aren't you a Negro now?
No.
What are you?
I'm Black and beautiful.
What is your nationality?
My nationality is Afro-American.
Suppose I had some money in my pocket. Suppose I gave you $1 to say that you're an American Negro. This is money now. Money talks. Money talks. This $1. And if you don't say it, you don't get it. You're an American Negro, aren't you?
No.
You won't have any money. You know you need money, don't you?
Yes.
You need money to live, don't you?
Yes.
All right. All you have to say, Leon, is that you're an American Negro. Aren't you an American Negro? Are you an American Negro?
No.
What are you?
I'm black and beautiful.
What's your nationality?
My nationality is Afro-American.
Very good, man. Keep it up. Go sit down. You had to think about that a minute, didn't you?
Yeah.
All right. All right, everybody. What is your nationality?
My nationality is Afro-American.
Now, as I said, and I see your comments over here. Those are saying you wish you had this kind of training. We need some of this in our schools. We need, I like the idea that the baby spoke up. Absolutely. This King, I see you, Yoshi's son, come on here. King Coochie said, well, knowing who you are can only take you but so far. You can be strong in who you are all day long, but what you do with this knowledge afterwards, what do you do with this knowledge afterwards? Come on with that. You had some family with this kind of teaching. You wish you had family with some kind of teaching. Our children to be like this in 2023. I see you, Miss Frosty. Now, this is, and these babies, the young baby was 4 years old, so he's younger than I am. I would love to know where they are. I saw you, one reason. So you're talking about some young men that are younger than I am, but around roughly my same age. I have to say, when I look at many of my peers got lost somewhere in the shuffle. Many of my peers, especially many of my black male peers, got lost somewhere in the shuffle. So when we look at this, I would love to know where they are, because I feel like, and even as King Coochie said, to know who you are will take you so far, but then what do you do with that after the fact? Once you know who you are, what are you doing with that knowledge? Some people were argumentative in the comments that I read, and these were people of color, that they felt like the children should not have been, as some would call it, brainwashed, and their children let them be children. Now, I want you guys to talk to me in the chat. Talk to me in the chat. This idea that the children should have been left to be children, saying that they're, what are you? Are you a boy? And you all know, for black men, and even I think back on the signs where our black brothers were protesting and boycotting, carrying "I am a man," the signs that said "I am a man." Stop calling me a boy. I am a man. Stop treating me like an animal. I am a man. There was so much that was being said in that "I am a man" sign. It was more than just I'm legal age. And no, we're trying to get beyond this mindset of being a boy, and better yet, boy with 2 syllables. Boy, come here, boy. You a boy. And the disrespect and the disregard that was given and put on our black men, and still referring to them as boys, and the ability for these young men, 4 and 5 years old, to say, I am a man. I'm a young man, but I'm a man. I'm not going to embrace this energy, this boy energy. So talk to me. The idea that we're trying to grow our children up and expose them to too much too soon, I personally don't even find that to be a reality, because I don't know hardly any, if any, black homes where we don't get taught and trained what it is to be black. Now, the question may be an issue in these days and times, because we have young black folks that seem like they are lost and oblivious to the black struggle. I'm going to say that again. We have young black folks in these days and time, and we got some older folks too. I mean, don't let me just put that on the young folks. We got some old black folks that seem like they are oblivious to the struggle. So maybe they're maybe they're a product of we don't put this on them too young. We don't want to have this negative energy about our past and our history. It's a new day. It's a new place. Come on, y'all. At the end of the day, I feel like this teacher taking the time to build stamina, resolve, constitution of perseverance. You're not going to beat me down. You're not going to scare me. As a matter of fact, the raising of the voice, talk louder and not screaming, but talk louder and emphasize your point. I loved every part of it. And I'm just shocked, stunned, and amazed that there are so many people of color and black folks. I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked when it comes from white folks. I'm not, because I know they potentially, not everybody, but they've potentially come from a background that is steeped in privilege and racism, potentially, not necessarily, but potentially. So I'm not shocked. I'm shocked by black folks that have an issue with this video. And with that, I want to stop and read what you all are saying in the chat, because I want y'all to talk to me, because it says, I feel like to have an issue with this video, to me, is to be somewhere twisted mentally, socially. The psychology of the black individual and what we have to endure in this country somehow has become twisted in your mind. I want to get your feelings on that, and you don't have to agree with me. As I say, we can walk hand in hand without seeing eye to eye. But I feel like to have serious opposition to what we watched right here, I want to understand the mindset that's opposed to that. I want to hear the mindset of those that agree with it, because I feel like this is some of what we need to take back. This is some of what we need to reinstitute, to restructure and recreate this black community as we want to see it. I'm tired of snitches get stitches. I'm sick and tired of that. I'm sick and tired. I said what I said. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. Let me say it once more and again. I'm tired of snitches get stitches. I don't tell on my peeps. I'm not a snitch. I'm not. No. And this whole idea that has permeated the community and taken it over, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired. The whole snitches get stitches concept, and I ain't telling on this. At the end of the day, do we need to have some reform in our justice system? Absolutely. But folks out here killing folk, and you ain't gonna say nothing. No, ma'am. No, sir. That's my son. I'm just not going to turn him in. That's my nephew. That's my husband. I'm just not going to turn him in. That's my wife. That's my whoever, whatever relationship you have. Snitches get stitches needs to go by the wayside. We need folks like, this is one thing that I will say, and I see you all talking, so I'm letting some more typing get in here, because I'm going to go back and read it all. But this whole element of, I loved when the young man, when he asked him, do you know what black power is? Do you know? Because he was taught to use that terminology. And then when the teacher came back and asked him, do you know what black power is? And the young man had to admit and acknowledge, I don't know what that means. I thought, when he said, I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. Listen, that's enough to make me get up and shout right there. Because the number of people that won't admit that they don't know what they're talking about, but they'll still bump their gums as if they do. I said it, and I'll add to it before I take it back. And let me say it again. The number of people that will bump their gums when they don't know what they're talking about, when they don't have an idea. And I hate it worst, I think, from the pulpit. And that is probably the worst and most egregious place. But you're bumping your gums and you're talking about something you don't know anything about. And for the young man, did you stop? You saw him stop and you saw him think about it. And rather than to make up something to try to sound intelligent, and rather for him to lie, he said, I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. If we could bring that part back. Do y'all understand the words? Some of y'all got jobs where you selling wolf tickets. You have no clue What you doing on your job? Now, I really want to say that's probably more so in a lot of instances for our management and for the folks that are over us that have no clue what they're doing. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Folks in positions of power and authority that have no clue. For that baby to say, I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. And then what did the man say to him? If you don't know what something means, don't use it. Don't say it. Listen. Everything about it. I just loved it. I'm watching you people. The fact that little baby had to pause and redirect his thoughts for a second shows just how easy it is to conform and be that redirected. If you don't have a good base, he is a child. So it probably took him a minute to get around the word play the teacher was using to potentially trip him up. I'm not mad at the teacher, but if you're not brought up with this type of reinforcement from the home and community, I can see why so many Black adults sell out. And for that, my brother, listen, let me give it up for that right there. The idea of crumbling and giving in to conformity. The idea, and listen, I'm gonna tell you what, we're talking about these little kids, but I see it all the time. Y'all trying to keep up with the Joneses. You're crumbling and conforming, trying to keep up with something that is not you. Trying to, so many things that I see that has swept through the Black community that causes us to try to be somebody that we're not, that causes us to try to play something that, at the end of the day, no, I'm not conforming. Or even the idea of negative energy. And we talk about peer pressure, particularly amongst our young people. But I recognize that there's peer pressure amongst the old folks. There's peer pressure amongst the adults. There's peer pressure that comes from the different institutions. There's peer pressure that comes from the job. There's peer pressure that comes from the church. We've got to, as I'm watching you people said, we've got to have a resolve where we don't conform and we're not so easily redirected. We need to have critical thinking skills. I'm watching you people. The ability for that little boy to pause and think about it and really process. No, I'm 4 years old. Even though this is coming at me forcefully, even though this is coming from a person of authority, even though this is coming from someone that seemingly has more power than I have, I'm going to retain my power in speaking my truth and my reality. I'm 4 years old. I wish that we could get this type of reinforcement, and it has to come from the home and community where we encourage people. There's no harm in you standing your ground for what you believe. SK 8843, young Black children are confronted with white supremacy very early, so their training must begin very early, and for that, I'm giving it up. Woe be it unto us as a Black community if we have not adequately educated our young children, not only to their history, but to understanding how this country works, how the community, the neighborhoods, and I'm going to say this about the neighborhoods. Do y'all, if you are old enough or you were blessed enough to have a neighborhood that was actually a neighborhood, put a 1 in the chat. I'm going to say that once more and again. If you are old enough, because I'm going to tell you what, back in the day, the neighborhood helped raise the children. I said the whole some of y'all don't even know who your neighbors are. I said the neighborhood. If you're old enough or were blessed enough to have a neighborhood, because some of y'all see the children walking down the street, you don't even know their names. You don't care to know their names. You don't try to know their name. Child, them kids are bad. I'm going to leave them alone. You know what? I'm going to tell you what, and I'm going to tell you about those bad kids that y'all talking about. Those bad kids that you're talking about will rape and rob you because you don't care to know their names. But I promise you, them same kids that you're calling bad, who probably are not, who just need to be redirected, those same bad kids, if you built a relationship and some rapport with them, they may rob and rape everybody but you. because you took the time to get to know them. This whole isolation mode that we've shifted into, where we don't want to know and we don't want to participate and we don't want to be a part of an actual neighborhood that's helping to teach these children, learn and understand their place and how they function and how they operate. It's got to be more than me, myself, I, and mine, y'all. It's got to be more than that. If you have reduced yourself and you've reduced the black community to me, myself, I, and mine, you have done us a disservice. I said what I said. And let me say it again. If you have reduced yourself in the black community to me, myself, I, and mine, you have done us a disservice. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. Once more and again, because I feel it in my shondo. If you, and I'm talking to the black community, if you have reduced yourself, let me just talk to all the community. If you have reduced yourself to me, myself, and I, and mine with your selfish self, you have done yourself and our community a disservice. And I'm going to say you have assimilated in the worst way, because that's not who we are. I said what I said. Let me say it once more again. You have assimilated to the worst way, because that's not who we are. We have always been a tribal people. Always we've been a tribe. And for everybody, and again, what gets us to this point where it's me, myself, and I, and mine? If I really tell the truth, if I really tell the truth and shame the devil, it's that nasty raggedy coin that y'all out here chasing. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. Now, it's time for me to get up out of here, because it's 8:57 and we headed over to Rebels, and I want to read the rest of your thoughts. But that right there, that video is so powerful. I would love to see us, I don't know how and what means, and we're going to talk about it even more. How can we bring that kind of energy back? How can we bring that kind of setting back? I don't care. It doesn't have to be in the school. The school system can't do it. We can do it in the neighborhood. Do y'all understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? You don't believe our 4-year-old should beat the responsibility of being a man, bear the responsibility of being a man. I got you, stirs the soul. Teach them to recognize malice in whatever form it takes. I got you, stirs. I got you. Today, the "Are You a Boy" part will be confrontational today, but the idea of who you are is meant with good intentions. To further this program, equality will need to be the next chapter. Come on here, King Coogee. I hear y'all talking. I got to bear the responsibility. I knew what you meant there. They're a product of fear. I hear you talking, Yoshi-san. You just had a conversation with your oldest grandson to see where his mind is about education. He's in the 8th grade, and he'll be in the 8th grade in the fall. I just pray that he will have teachers that will push him to be great. However, it does take a village. Come on here, Miss Frosty. But how the world is today, it doesn't matter. Someone will always find a negative in the good because they don't agree. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. And King Coogee, my response to that is always, we can walk hand in hand without seeing eye to eye. But before you formulate your opinions, people, get the information, get the intelligence, get the understanding, know what you're talking about before you take a hard position. Because sometimes some of us are taking hard position for ignorance or for half truths, as King Coogee said earlier. When I was in the school suspension room, we would have maybe 90% brown-skinned scholars that would be in the room. Every opportunity we had to educate our students that arrived in the room, that were of color had to do better. Fortunately, I work with 2 black male principals that constantly reinforce these concepts. Come on, Be the Rock. I love it. I went about it differently, but I trained my kids about black love with their black dolls. I believe in teaching the self-love, especially since my children always attended a predominantly white schools. Come on here, Michelle Brown. If he was going to deprogram him from identifying as any word, it should be the other N word and the B word as well. Context be damned. Come on here, Stirs the Soul. You better talk. You think the video is this way. We have to educate our children of color to change the stigma that we get. Come on here. When you were in grade school, a lot of our brown-skinned brothers stay in trouble and were put in detention rooms. Some of them are doing great now. However, some of them have fallen by the wayside. Thank you for that, Miss Frosty. Don't take me because I'm on tails. Come on, snitches get stitches. Our hateful enemies' actions leave no room for our children to have normal lives. We must do all that we can to enhance our minds, emotions, and lives. Possibilities grow much quicker and higher in positive frequencies. To get better, do better. Come on here and talk to me, Cassandra. At the end of the day, it's the parents' job to instill those things into their children, no matter what they learn outside of the house. As they grow, they see what they were taught and learn how to use that knowledge. You had to teach your kids the same thing because they are predominantly white schools. K2 Hoop, King Coochie, I hear y'all talking. Now listen, I wanted to get all of that in because you all were talking to me and I appreciate that. Michelle, your daughter got in trouble at school because she told them, my mom don't let me play with white dolls. Michelle, not that she got in trouble for saying she didn't play with white dolls. You know what missed me with that. They wish they didn't. I know you're right. I know you're right. Come on in here. This is what I hope and I'm pushing that we can do to be the change. It's more than just talk. We've got to put some things in motion. It's past time white people keep looking to the black community to tell them how to fix the problem the white people have. Come on, Stacy 546. And for anybody that's offended, Stacy is white. Stacy is one of the strongest supporters of this stream. So listen, everybody knows it's not about me. Fifi Turn, so much good love to you coming on here. Good morning to you out of lurk mode. I appreciate you. Stacy, I love you and I appreciate, and it is past time. It is way past time for us to keep having white people looking to black people to tell white folks how to fix the problem of racism, because it's not our problem. Now, that being said, I appreciate everybody that came in today. I know the flow was a little bit different, but I wanted to really emphasize when I saw that video that T. Summers put in, it stopped me in my tracks. I kid you not. It stopped me in my tracks. And that was a place, Double Spirit. There's my double portion. Mad love to you. I appreciate you as well. That place right there, I wanted to have conversation around that because, again, the energy, the mindset, the frame of mind, the resolve, the resiliency that we put in our children is very important. And at the same time, I wanted to hear what you all had to say and your thoughts revolving around this particular method. And at the end of the day, whatever that method is that we choose, I definitely feel we've got to continue to put something in our children as early as possible so that they have a resolve not to conform, that they have the ability to have pride, to love themselves, to love the skin that they're in, to love their hairs, to love everything about themselves from the top of their head to the soles of their feet. We've got to give it to our babies because they deserve that. And if they're going to get it, they're going to get it from us. That's how we change the world. I'll be back at 12 o'clock noon with solutions for anybody that wants to come in solutions today. For those either that have been out there and you've been a part of the VIP section or those that are subscribed, please meet me at 12 o'clock noon. I will be talking solutions today, and we're going to continue to push the agenda on how we're going to change the economic base. Because as I always say, listen, we're building black for black, and we ain't looking for nobody to come in here and save us. We free us. That's the way it happens. And I love y'all, and I want you to have an awesome day. I appreciate you. One more. I love you. I love you. I love you. Let's get up out of here. Mad love to each of you. Melvin Brown, downtown Melvin Brown. I love me some you. There's my shouting partner. I hope to see you Saturday. We gonna shout together at These Are They. Well, this has been another edition of Yes You O Cubed. I want to appreciate everybody that came into the Lion's Den today. You know what? We're always talking about being the change, and we ain't just bumping our gums. We're going to put the money where our mouths are. We are going to be the change. We're not going to do it alone. We have come together in the us, you, me, we all together. We're going to rebuild this thing. And please believe we're building something. Now, listen, I want to appreciate everybody that came in the room today. It has been nothing but a blessing. You all have blessed me just by your presence. And I want to say thank you, because we're building something. To the subscribers and the resubs, I appreciate you. To my beautiful, blessed Trinity, you guys are my girls. I love me some you. Listen, one reason in the gospel takeover. Thank you for that phenomenal raid. I appreciate you for coming in the Lion's Den. Now listen, I want to appreciate Regina Sims, who has given us the permission to roll this beautiful song that she has created. Won't be this way always. And it's available on all streaming platforms. She's available for bookings, and prmusicgroup.com is where you want to check it out. Now listen, I want you to ride this raid train, because we're going somewhere. We're headed over to Rebel's house, and we're going to have a good time over there. Thank you for the roaring biddies, Be the Rock. I appreciate you. We're building something. We're headed over to the Rebels house. We're going to have a good time over there. Then meet me back at 12 o'clock noon for those in Patreon. And you know where to find me. You know to find me in the Discord channel. We will be there at 12 o'clock noon talking about building, built black for black. It's all about the solutions, because we free us. At the end of the day, as my moderators say, have an amazing day on purpose. Do what you love what you do, and peace for your journey.